afternoon. I welcome you to True Wellness webinar series. Today our topic is, what is the dynamic model of health? Before we answer that question, let's take a look at what is static model of health. In the static model of health, we are either healthy or unhealthy. When we're healthy, we're sort of minding our own business and not a care in the world. But the moment we become unhealthy, we reach for some help. Either we take over-the-counter medicine or we go see a doctor and get a prescription drug to get us better. And that is sort of like going on a solid ground and then falling into a ditch, which is your unhealthy state. So here is you're healthy, and here is you are unhealthy, and as you went in, you took something to bring you back out, and then you're on your way again. So now you think you're healthy again. What happened over here basically was the symptoms were addressed, either with the over-the-counter or prescription drug. But the cause was never addressed. The cause continues to be there. And in fact, if you don't change anything in your life, the cause will continue to accumulate. And it will only become bigger. And then one day, out of nowhere, you will experience a larger ditch, a bigger event, where the over-the-counter drugs no longer work. And perhaps the prescription drugs may need to be even turned up a notch higher, or a drastic measure, surgery. So the point being is that in a static model of health, you're not participating in your health every day. You're mainly taking care of the symptoms and going on about your way. Yeah, it's a rather easy thing to do, but that's how we are trained. It's not your fault. This is how we have been trained to go about taking care of our health. If we get sick, we take something. The dynamic model of health, however, under the Ayurvedic medical science, is very, very different. It is not about either you're healthy or unhealthy. Health is not a state. Health is a process. You continually work at it. And why is it a process? Because every day something is happening in your life to throw you off balance. Maybe perhaps you took the wrong food. Well, let's take a look at what sort of things you are taking in. Food is one of them, of course. What about drinks? What about air you breathe, you're taking in? What about thoughts and emotions that you're taking in? Because that is also food for our body. We're not robots. We have a mind. A mind gets disturbed when you have some argument or perhaps some bad news. Your emotions are rattled. The thoughts are changed. So there is constantly something going on. So emotions are also food for us, and they're constantly changing us. And when a change occurs, you have to make some adjustments. And of course, we'll get into what are those changes, what changes within us in another webinar. But the point here is things are changing. They're continuously changing, dynamically changing. So we have to dynamically participate in our wellness. Think about this way about the dynamic model, not as if you are on a solid ground. Think about it as if you are swimming through the ocean. All of these are different waves. If you took a wrong bite, food, drink, it's a wave that you have to now negotiate with. If some bad news comes your way, throws you off balance, It is a wave that you will have to negotiate with. Similarly, your emotions. You will have to balance them, negotiate with bad emotions within yourself. So you're constantly balanced. So dynamic model is really a true reflection of what is happening in our daily lives. And we need to participate in that to make ourselves well or stay balanced. When you do that, imagine what's happening here. You are no longer accumulating a cause anymore. Because every time something happens, you're making adjustment to it. And the cause is not accumulating. So you're avoiding this, entering this red zone altogether. And that is a dynamic model of health. So what is going off balance? According to Ayurvedic medical science, there are three energies that are constantly going in and out of balance within each of us. And our goal is to keep those energies balanced. We'll get into these energies in another webinar, but for this time, what our focus is really a dynamic model of health. So my goal here is why should we participate in our wellness every day? Think about it. 50 years ago, our lifestyle was quite different. Today, our lifestyle is very, very different. This I, if you will, this I is continuously, non-stop, virtually non-stop, involved and engaged with the outside world through either iPhone, iPod, or iPad. There is no rest. There is no electronic silence. So this I has a very little chance to recuperate if you fall in a ditch. So you have to also continuously do something about it to keep this I in balance. The I devices, iPad, iPhone, iPod, if anything goes wrong with them, you can replace them, recharge their batteries. But if something goes wrong with this I, the device in your ear, in your eyes, they're not easily replaceable or not replaceable at all. So this is why participating in your wellness every day is very important, more than ever. And this is what I call is a true prevention. When you participate in your wellness every day under the dynamic model of health, you are managing health. Unlike in the static model of health, where you are managing disease. So my friends, the choice is very clear. Either you can manage disease or either you can manage health. I thank you for your time. Until we meet again, be well.